Adrian Beltre will most likely be on his way to Cooperstown this summer. Every voter so far has voted for him except for one. The voter received a ton of backlash for it. Beltre is clearly a first ballot Hall of Famer, but it does raise the question, should Hall of Fame voters have their vote taken away from them when they try to pull crap like this?
You just want to take that Jeter guy's vote, don't you?
Look, it's a valid question. It really is.
So you need 75% to get in. There's like 315 voters or something like that, right? So one guy not voting, like it is what it is. The guy that didn't vote for Jeter was a fucking idiot.
He was an idiot.
Like that's the only one I can look at. But if you saw, did you see who he voted for? 3 people. Did you see who he voted for? Okay, do you have them?
You gotta remind me, but I know he voted. Believe he voted for Mauer.
No,
Joe Mount. Oh, he didn't. Who did he vote for then?
Well, let me get it because his explanation was perfect.
While you're getting this, though, let me just say my reasoning behind this of why I don't really appreciate when voters do this. And let me tell you, what I'm about to say is not against all voters, but voters like this are power hungry, that they finally get to have a say and try to make some sort of statement that is almost too big for their own head to understand. And like I said, it's not every voter that does this, but you have these ones that are just like the bad apples that are just scumbags. And it's like, why? Look, at the end of the day, the question's very simple. The question is not, is Adrian Beltre a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer? That's not the question. The question is Adrian Beltre a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Check the box. And I'm afraid if you truly believe that Adrian Beltre is not a Hall of Famer with the stats and the career that he did and all the achievements he has, I don't think you deserve to vote in the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's one of the most cherished things in this game. Sorry.
Okay, so I have his voting. It was A-Rod and it was Manny. That was it. He voted for 2 guys. And his explanation was, regardless of the steroids, when looking at this ballot, those are the best 2 players on this ballot, regardless of the steroids or not. And that was his explanation, which if that's the explanation, I understand it. He's not going to vote for Beltre now. Maybe he does in the future. But when he's looking at this ballot, the only 2 that he thought that were Hall of Fame ready right now was A-Rod and Manny. And I can't disagree with his logic. Those are one of the best pure hitters I've ever seen in my life. But because of the steroid allegations and all that stuff, like I shied on the other side of this ballot, but I can understand one looking at this ballot like he thinks A-Rod and Manny should be in. Those are 2 of the best baseball players of my lifetime, steroids or not.
Yeah, Jedi, you bring up a good point too. It isn't should they be a first ballot Hall of Famer, it's should they be a Hall of Famer. And yes, he should be a Hall of Famer over the course of his candidacy. Absolutely. I always shy away from situations like that where it's like, well, if somebody does something like that, they should get their vote taken because it's stupid or because it doesn't agree with what the majority of people think. So I'm always hesitant to say that. So I would have to disagree with you on that. But yet I think to talk to Dino's point with what the voter put in there, I mean, you add Todd Helton in there. Other than Beltre and Todd Helton, I can't disagree with that guy that much. Like, I think A-Rod should be in. I think Manny should be in. I think Todd Helton and Adrian Beltre should be in as well.
I just, and I totally get your argument point for both of you. However, the only thing that I would say against that of what the writer is saying, at the end of the day, he has the vote, I don't, is that if his statement is that he only wants to vote for 2 people every year, I still don't agree with that necessarily, because at the end of the day, once again, it's yes or no, are these people Hall of Famers? It's not who's the best 2 people on the ballot. That's not what the question says. So I almost still disagree with his explanation.
I agree with.
Especially, man, you get a ballot, I wouldn't fudge it up to do something like that. Like I wouldn't make it controversial. Like I would fill it out to the letter of the law.
I don't know. I think it's just a conversation that's going to continue to keep happening, whether we like it or not. That's kind of where I stand on it. My opinion hasn't been very much swayed ever since that Jeter voter did that. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, I think that a lot of the writers do it almost to like make the name for themselves or like make like their news article to where they explain it and get those what's it called?
Get those clicks.
Yeah, get those subscribers and stuff up. So I don't know if it'll change. Probably not, but never know.